Schools is a higher education services corporation website at hesc.newyork.gov.
This past Wednesday, the Buffalo Sewer Authority joined community stakeholders to announce the Queen City Clean Waters Initiative. This initiative is a 15-year commitment that will focus on cleaning up and upgrading the city's wastewater and stormwater infrastructure. The goal of the initiative is to reduce sewage overflows into the environment during heavy rainfall and snowmelt by upgrading 50 site sewer infrastructure across Buffalo. This will also include $250 million upgrade to the Bird Island Water Treatment Facility. The Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper has been working to protect and restore Western New York's waterways for 35 years. The executive director, Jill Jedlicka, believes this initiative will be a big step forward in addressing these issues and managing the city's sewer overflow challenges. As part of the initiative, the Buffalo Sewer Authority will also be working to engage and encourage the community and residents to voice their concerns and share their feedback on any of the initiative's proposed projects. For more information on this new initiative, you can visit buffalosewer.org.
Looking for some Halloween fun? Reporter Sarah Lespoto explores Sherman's haunted trail with clowns, witches, and ghouls waiting for her to arrive.
We seem to have misplaced our mother's head. Can you help us find it?
As the moon rises in Sherman, New York, the lights turn on and the screams get louder on the Haunted Trail fundraiser event. All the proceeds for the Haunted Trail go to the Sherman High School class of 2027. Selling a lot of tickets, sir? Of course, okay, that'd be great.
Yeah.
This event, raising money for the class of 2027, is not run by the school, the PTO, but by the parents and the community.
We wanted it to be the class of 2027, but when we went to the school, it was a big liability because it wasn't part of like school property or anything like that. So then we got to brainstorming and said, then let's just, you and I do a boosters.
The trail had many sections, including clowns and witches.
Yeah, last year we had a knife like that, and it scared a lot of the little kids.
If you want to support these student scares, the Haunted Trail is being run for 2 weekends this year, including October 24th to the 26th. Being frightened by kids, this is Sarah Lespoto, News 11.
Continuing with what Sarah was saying, even if you are interested in this event, the Haunted Trail is at 7 p.m. from the 24th to the 26th. It is located at 153 Miller Street, Sherman, New York. You can buy tickets at the entrance.
Buffalo favorite Perry's Ice Cream has announced 2 new limited edition ice cream flavors to enjoy this holiday season. The first flavor is called, quote, iced gingerbread, end quote, and it features sugar cookie dough pieces and a royal ice cream and gingerbread ice cream base. This particular flavor will be sold in 1.5-quart containers. The second flavor that was announced is called, quote, sugar cookie bars, end quote, and is an ice cream bar that will come in a pack of 6. Its taste is exactly what it sounds like, sugar cookie. There is green frosting swirled throughout, and it comes in a fun, festive tree shape. Each of these products costs $6.99 and will be available to purchase in stores once December hits.
This past Saturday, a group of Buffalo community members gathered in Niagara Square to protest the negative views against immigration seen in political culture. They rallied in an effort to support immigrants rather than denounce any particular political parties. One activist, Hagar Hafez, says, quote, "This is not a moment for us to endorse any political people, but actually empower our own communities, make sure they feel safe, and make sure they have the allies necessary," end quote. The local citizens strive to see change in the way immigrants are perceived and treated politically through their activism.
Fredonia Radio Systems opened its doors for returning alumni this past weekend. Mariana Cruz went over to join in on the fun.
Last weekend, Fredonia Radio Systems hosted its annual alumni weekend.
My favorite part was getting to be a part of so many different clubs and organizations, getting to build that community connection together and just make all my friends, and just the memories I have from doing those clubs and meeting all of those people is just the absolute best.
Alumni were given tours of the radio station, talked with current members, and caught up on WCVF's achievements.
Fredonia Radio Systems was open all weekend to give former alumni a chance to visit their old stomping grounds.
This year marked the 25th anniversary of the class of 1999. This weekend gave former students the chance to reconnect with classmates and reminisce on their favorite memories from college. While the changes are drastic, many claim that their feelings have still not changed.
I think the thing that I enjoyed the most was the radio station. I was active at WCVF. Used to be over in Gregory Hall at the time, but it was a place that I just, in between classes, that's where you could find me. And I just enjoyed being at the radio station and hanging out with people that had similar interests. And it's just a great place. It brings back wonderful memories.
Despite the years that have passed, current students and alumni agree that the community has still remained the same.
And when I first came here, I really looked up to a lot of those people. So to see them coming back and to see me kind of growing up and getting into their position and kind of becoming who they were is just really nice to see. And then they come back and we still have such a nice community, and we're just continuing to do the things that they did that inspired me so much.
Going off air, reporting from Fredonia, Mariana Cruz, News 11.
Alumni Weekend takes place during every homecoming weekend at SUNY Fredonia. All alumni are always encouraged to attend.
This past Saturday, students from McKinley High School as well as volunteers from Retreat joined together to make improvements to their neighborhood. The volunteers gathered to clean up a lawn on Clinton Street that needed some extra care. One student, Manny Reed, says, quote, "When I heard about it, I was excited. It's just something I really wanted to help with," end quote. Over 24 students gathered to help with this project, and it is something they hope to continue in the future.
After 6 years, the sights and sounds of Clarence Center's Haunted Hollow returned for their final spooky installment. For years, the Haunted Hollows were well known for their graveyard walk, light show, haunted scenes in their garage, and Victor the Talking Skeleton. The creative minds behind this attraction, Gary Server and his wife, used to have a Halloween display every year, but they stopped in 2018. However, thanks to the encouragement from their 11 grandchildren, they're bringing it back to life for one more Halloween. Server said, quote, "When we see families together enjoying themselves, they're not on their iPads or cell phones. They're walking around together and laughing, having conversations with Victor, or dancing to the light show in the driveway," end quote. Visitors can also support other families by donating to Oshai Children's Hospital. If you're interested, the Haunted Hollow is at 6105 Fairlane Drive in Clarence Center, and it opened on Friday, October 18th. Tours will be available this weekend, next weekend, and on Halloween night.
The impact of Hurricane Helene has been felt by thousands across the Appalachian region. One couple with local ties lost their business, a Bill's Backers Bar in Asheville, North Carolina. Terry and Gene Dolan own the Root Bar, a well-known dive bar in the area. Gene is originally from Lackawanna, and he wanted a bar for Bills fans in the area to enjoy games together. Gene said people used to come together and enjoy each other's company, wearing Bills hats even if they weren't fans of the team. However, the hurricane destroyed much of the building, forcing the Dolans to rebuild. Terry said that while the bar will not be rebuilt in the same spot where it once stood, her goal is to rebuild something else where patrons can enjoy the Root Bar once again. And when we return, we'll have your national stories. We'll be right back.
To Sofia and Gabriel, Miss Flores, my little flowers. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love, so you can take me with you wherever you go, near or far. These stitches and threads join us together. Me, your mother, and both of you. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
This past Sunday, Donald Trump, current Republican presidential nominee, was seen at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania manning the fry station before the event turned into an impromptu news conference. The incident occurred after Democratic nominee Kamala Harris said on accounts for her campaign about working at McDonald's while putting herself through college, which Donald Trump claims to be false with no evidence to prove so. During his day at McDonald's, Trump learned how to dunk the fry baskets in oil, salt the fries, and put them into boxes with a scoop. As a well-known germaphobe, he was amazed at this process as no one had touched the fries with their hands during the whole process. Trump has also learned how to hand bags of takeout to people through the drive-thru lane, which soon turned into an interview as he leaned out the drive-thru window and answered questions from the media outside. During the interviews, Trump did not directly answer questions about the support of minimum wage increase, which could help employees at places like McDonald's, but did commend them for their skill and quickness they had in order to perform their job. He said, quote, "These people work hard, they're great," end quote. After his visit at the McDonald's, he later was seen attending an event in the town hall of Lancaster before going to a home Pittsburgh Steelers games against the New York Jets.
The death of Liam Payne last week has left many fans grieving and looking for answers about what happened. Some questions have been answered with the toxicology test results. It was found that the 31-year-old singer had multiple drugs in his system when he fell from the third-floor balcony. The most notable being pink cocaine, which is a recreational drug that's a mix of several other drugs such as methamphetamine, MDMA, and cocaine. Officials told sources that a makeshift aluminum pipe was found in his Buenos Aires hotel room. Just minutes before Payne's death, the authorities were called by hotel employees who were worried Payne was putting his life in danger. When the police arrived minutes later, they found his body in the courtyard and he was pronounced dead on the scene. His autopsy revealed 25 injuries thought to be related to the damage found in his hotel room as well as the fall. It is suspected that a hotel employee supplied the substances. However, there has not been an arrest or charges pressed.
Famous psychologist Philip Zimbardo has passed away at the age of 91. Zimbardo was known as the man behind the Stanford Prison Experiment, where college students willingly played the role of prisoners and guards. The study resulted in severe psychological damage to all participants. It ended after only 6 days when the prison guards began to abuse the prisoners. Zimbardo himself has been criticized for not concluding the study sooner. 50 years after the experiment, it is now used as an example of everything not to do when conducting a psychological study. Zimbardo also researched methods of persuasion, hypnosis, cults, and the perception of time. Stanford announced 1 week ago that the psychologist passed away due to an unknown cause.
Disney is about to have its fourth board chair in just over 3 years as the company continues to navigate the ongoing uproar in the media. The company announced Monday that the chairman, Mark Parker, will step down at the end of the year. Morgan Stanley CEO James Gorman will replace Parker starting in 2025. Parker, a board member for 9 years, just stepped into the chair position last year, replacing Susan Arnold, who held the role for just over a year until her term expired. The company also announced that a replacement for current CEO Bob Iger will be named in early 2026, after returning to the position last year after a brief hiatus. Parker, in a statement, said, quote, "James Gorman is an esteemed leader who has become an invaluable voice on the Disney board since joining earlier this year, and I am extremely pleased that he has agreed to assume the role of chairman upon my departure." Drawing on his vast experience, James is expertly guiding the extensive search process for a new CEO, which remains a top priority for the board, end quote.
This Saturday, the Girl Scouts of USA had National Council meeting to discuss changes in membership costs. 112-year-old girls groups have decided to increase their revenue to ensure their future. The council decided on increasing the 2025 membership cost to $45 yearly from the current $25 membership. Furthermore, the members will continue to increase to $65 annually in 2026. Despite the membership fee increasing over 160% in the next 2 years, this is actually less than the originally proposed increase of $85 annually. The National Council hopes that these changes will be sufficient to continue the Girl Scout legacy.
Yesterday, Starbucks released 2 limited edition drinks for the upcoming Wicked movie starring Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. The first drink is themed as Glinda's Pink Potion, which is a mango dragon fruit refresher with strawberry cold foam. The second is a peppermint cold brew with matcha cold foam to reflect Elphaba's iconic green skin. They rolled out these drinks limited time Wicked merchandise as well as in select stores across the U.S. Wicked debuts in theaters on November 22nd. The drinks were well received for their presentation, and many liked the flavors but said they are very similar to other seasonal beverages that the chain produces. And when we return, Jenna Polito joins us for our sports update, and we'll have Ethan Fink for your first look at weather. We'll be right back.
To Sofia and Gabriel, mis flores, my little flowers. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love, so you can take me with you wherever you go, near or far. These stitches and threads join us together. Me, your mother, and both of you. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
We're now joined by Jenna, who will be giving us our weekly sports update. What's going on in sports, Jenna?
Thanks, Sam. Last Wednesday, Brian Taylor of the Fredonia men's soccer team celebrated his senior day with a 4-point performance and a 3-1 win against the Potsdam Bears. Potsdam scored first in the 25th minute, but Taylor struck within minutes to tie the score. In the second half, just 42 seconds in, Vinny DeBello scored from close range with Taylor on the assist, and Ryan Amos scored once more to finish off the game. Their next game will be on Saturday, October 26th at SUNY Oneonta. The women's soccer team also played Potsdam on Wednesday, beating the Bears 2-0. Gabrielle Irwin and Jordan Nicola both scored within the first 10 minutes of the game. With this win, the Blue Devils advanced to 8-7 overall in SUNYAC and 3-4 in conference play, hosting Oneonta on Saturday. In swimming and diving, the Blue Devils competed in the Hobart William Smith meet on Saturday. The women were able to claim a lone victory from sophomore Cleo McDermott, who won the 1,000 free in a time of 12 minutes and 25 seconds. Aaron Burkett of the men's team won a pair of events, both the 100 free and the 100 back, while teammate Noah Wisniewski also won the 100 free in only 52 seconds. The next meet for Fredonia will be this Saturday when they swim in the Allegheny College tri-match with the Gators in Baldwin Wallace. The women's volleyball team lost a tough match on Saturday to the Buffalo State Bengals. Despite a valiant effort, the Devils did fall short 25-12, 25-16, and 25-14. Kalia Sullivan and Aaron Callahan led the offense with 6 kills, and Molly Cassidy had 10 assists. Their next match will be this Friday against the Cortland Red Dragons. On Sunday, the Bills hosted the Tennessee Titans, winning their game with a blowout victory of 34-10. Josh Allen put up an impressive 323 passing yards with touchdown passes to Ty Johnson and the freshly traded Amari Cooper. James Cook also enjoyed an 11-yard rushing touchdown to open up scoring, and Ray Davis ran into the end zone to finish the game. Kicker Tyler Bass was able to redeem himself from the previous week, making all 4 extra points and 2 field goals. Next Sunday, they will travel to Seattle to play the Seahawks. Last night was an exciting night in the NHL as all 32 teams played, resulting in 16 games to watch last night. The Buffalo Sabres played the Dallas Stars and came out on top with a 4-2 win. Goals were scored by Peyton Krebs, Ryan McLeod, Tage Thompson, and Alex Tuck. Goals from Krebs and McLeod came on consecutive shots, only 83 seconds apart. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen made 30 saves, and Owen Power matched a career high with 3 assists. The Sabres will next play on Saturday at home against the Detroit Red Wings.
Well, that was a lot of sports.
That was a lot of sports. A lot happened this week.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Wicked drinks, though.
The Wicked drinks.
So what do you think?
I really want to try the Glinda one. I mean, I was at Starbucks today and I decided not to get either, but
I got the Elphaba one today.
And how was that?
And it was pretty good. It was actually pretty good. Yeah, I didn't think I would like it because I don't really like there's peppermint in the coffee. There's peppermint syrup in the coffee.
Yeah, that was the one thing that kind of like
That put me off.
Like
That
the
put me off.
chocolate and like mint.
Yep. But I don't think there's any chocolate. I think it's just peppermint, cold brew, and then matcha cold foam. I was like, that's just a lot of flavors. But I liked it. It was good. Okay, and now we're joined by Ethan for our weather forecast. What do you have for us, Ethan?
Thank you, guys. The past few days we have been enjoying the nice weather, warm weather, but that will soon come to an end. Today we have been enjoying a nice 72 degrees, but we will be dropping down to 49 tonight, so grab your blanket. It's been cloudy today, and we are expecting to see a little bit of showers tonight. We will have some of that famous Fredonia weather, as we will see 18-mile-per-hour wind. Tomorrow, we will be dropping down to a high of 55 and a low of 42. Winter seems to be coming faster than we know, as it seems to be partly cloudy tomorrow. Throughout the day, we won't be seeing as much rain, with only about 16%. That's all for now. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Ethan. And when we return, we'll have your international headlines. We'll be right back.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the Sisterhood of Women in Tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer.
Mentor.
Actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
And discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
New Zealand will have to make it quick. There has been a new 3-minute time limit placed on farewell hugs in the airport's drop-off area. This was implemented to hopefully prevent lingering cuddles from preventing traffic jams. There is a sign in this drop-off area that warns, quote, max hug time 3 minutes, end quote. Travelers seeking, quote, fonder farewells, end quote, are encouraged to head to the airport's parking lot instead. The sign sent the internet into a frenzy, with some people claiming that basic human rights were being taken. Airport CEO Dan DeBono was just trying to keep things moving quickly. Some airports in Britain have even started charging people small fees for all drop-offs at their airports. De Bono was just trying to keep his airport efficient, but took a quirkier approach to the matter instead. Don't worry though, De Bono has said that, quote, "We do not have hug police," end quote.
Scientists have feared that this huge, quote, ghost fish has been extinct. However, one was recently caught in Cambodia after 20 years of the fish not being seen. Cambodian fishermen caught 2 fish in the Mekong River, each of them weighing between 11 and 13 pounds and measuring 2 to 3 feet long. These fish are typically identified by their odd-shaped mouth and protruding knob at their jaws. Scientists were contacted shortly after catching the fish and confirmed that it was in fact a ghost fish. The river where the fish were caught is known to face many challenges, some of which include hydropower development, overfishing, and habitat degradation. It was due to these reasons scientists feared the fish had gone extinct. The revelation that the fish wasn't extinct sparked a sense of hope within the scientists. They said, quote, "It means it's not too late," end quote. Their findings have been published in the Biological Conservation Journal.
Schools in Mexico now have 6 months to ban junk food following a new government-sponsored ban, or they could face heavy fines. This ban comes after authorities say they have what they call the worst childhood obesity problem in the world. For 2 or 3 generations, kids in Mexican schools have had many junk food staples readily available to them, such as sugary fruit drinks, chips, and salty peanuts and chili. Authorities also say that about 1/3 of Mexico's children are overweight and obese. There have been several attempts over the years to ban junk food, including front-of-package warning labels on foods advertising about high levels of salt, added sugar, excess calories, and saturated fats. Any school administrators who violate this fine could face the equivalent to $545 to $5,450 doubles, which could double for a second offense. The New Mexico President Claudia Sheinbaum said that in response to this ban, schools will have to offer water fountains and alternative snacks to students. However, the majority of schools do not have free drinking water available to students. About 4% of the country's schools have water fountains installed, and many schools struggle to maintain acceptable bathrooms, internet connection, or electricity. It's still unclear how the government will enforce the ban on the sidewalks outside of the schools, as many vendors usually set up tables to sell goods and snacks to kids at recess. And after the break, a look at Tom Holland and Zendaya's thoughts about the new Spider-Man script, some new Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, and Andrew Garfield's appearance in Chicken Shop Date. We'll be right back.
We've been down there. You gotta do the same. Post office. All you do is sign. So don't get nervous. Sign your name. For selective service. It takes no time. Just sign on the line at the post office. For selective service.
Hey guys, if you're about to turn 18, you've got to register with Selective Service. It's simple. Just go down to the post office, fill out a card, and turn it in. That's all there is to it. There's no draft now. You're just adding your name to Selective Service's list in case there's a national emergency.
So if you're 18 now, Selective Service, you gotta get down to the post office.
Register with Selective Service. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
Takes no time. Just sign on the line at the post office. Selective Service.
Tom Holland revealed on a podcast last week that him and Zendaya have read through the script to the next Spider-Man. Holland stars as Spider-Man, and Zendaya, his real-life girlfriend, stars as the love interest, Michelle Jones. The couple has been starring in movies together since 2017 in Spider-Man: Homecoming. He revealed that they read through the script together and are very excited for the upcoming project. He feels it is one that fans will really enjoy, even if a few things need to be fixed before they move forward. Holland also expressed in the podcast how grateful he has been for the trajectory of his career due to this franchise.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony kicked off on Saturday with a star-studded lineup of iconic artists. Among the highlights were Dua Lipa and Cher, who opened the night and captivated the audience with a powerful rendition of Cher's hit, Believe. They then handed the stage over to a lively medley by Kool and the Gang. followed by rock classics from Foreigner and Peter Frampton, along with a powerhouse performance by gospel icon Dionne Warwick, who wowed the audience at 83 years old. This year's inductees included notable artists like Mary J. Blige, A Tribe Called Quest, Ozzy Osbourne, and the Dave Matthews Band. The ceremony also included late artists such as Jimmy Buffett, Alexis Korner, and John Mayall. Actress Zendaya inducted Cher, stating, quote, "Her name is just as legendary as her legacy," end quote, highlighting that she is the only woman to achieve a #1 hit on a Billboard chart in each of the past 7 decades. In her speech, Cher expressed gratitude to her mother and Cinderella for her inspiration, saying, quote, "The one thing I got from my mom is to never give up," end quote. Other celebrities who inducted artists included Julia Roberts for the Dave Matthews Band, Dr. Dre for Blige, Jack Black for Osbourne, and Dave Chappelle for A Tribe Called Quest, to name a few. The In Memoriam section paid tribute to late artists such as Chris Christopherson, Cissy Houston, David Sanborn, and Liam Payne, among others. A television special featuring performance highlights will air on ABC on January 1st.
Andrew Garfield made a recent appearance on Amelia de Moldenberg's YouTube show, Chicken Shop Date. Each episode, Amelia goes on a, quote, date with a famous guest in a small chicken shop in London. Despite the success of this show, this particular episode invoked a very exciting reaction from the audience. The pair first met back in 2022 at a red carpet event for British GQ's Men's of the Year party, where they immediately hit it off. Now, over 2 years later, their spark returned at the chicken shop, with Andrew saying, quote, "I actually believe that maybe we could have gone on a real date," end quote. Fans are diving deeper into their friendship with the hopes that their date will lead to something more.
That's so sweet. I love that.
I know. I've actually never watched that show, but I've seen clips from
I
it.
haven't either, but I've heard it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love those stories. Just stories, like, don't they hit you in the heart, Sam?
Yeah, they hit me in the heart a little bit.
Oh,
but I
that's
feel like
just so
people do that a lot with interviews, where they're like,
I
"Oh, I
know.
think they're in love."
They kind of glorify it, and oh
Yeah.
yeah, they're absolutely, everybody
Yeah,
knows
but
that.
it's fun to watch. So.
It absolutely is, and I keep thinking about that In Memoriam section about the awards too. My mind goes to Chris Christopherson, Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
that's really
All
lovely.
amazing artists. Well, now we're going to toss it to Ethan for the weather one more time for the end of the weekend weather. How's it look, Ethan?
Chance, although keep your eye out because that rain will be happening all throughout the day. It will be slightly a bit warmer than normal, as we have a high of 63 and a low of 50 on Saturday. On Saturday we will see another drop in temperature, as we will be back down to the 40s, but we will see a bit of sun, so get that sunlight in when you can. Going into Sunday, keeps on getting colder, as we see a high of 55 and a low of 52. Change that. We will see a high. The teleprompter. Just keep going. We will see a high of 55 and a low of 42 on Saturday. We will be getting a little bit of partial sunlight, as there will be almost no chance of rain. As I said, the winter is peeking around the corner, so we might see a little bit of snowfall by the end of the month. That is all I have this week. Back to your weekly news.
Thank you, Ethan. And that does it for News 11. Thank you so much to our behind-the-scenes crew. We'll be back next week.
As always, thank you to everyone watching at home. Have a great night.